Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in the last decades in the Ukraine, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Syria, in a lot of other places. But never would you hear about it in the news. Never other countries would be called for that they are doing genocide, as the Taliban did. And all of a sudden, the irony goes that Israel is to blame for 9/11. And let's think about it. Israel, the country which brought the flexible stent that saved a lot of lives, the country that developed the most sophisticated computers, ways, the flash drives, all of other technology that actually allows you to watch this video. The technology that allows for mobile phones to be that small. Yeah, that's all comes from Israel. And yes, less than 50 million Jews, 15 million Jews are in existence worldwide, and Israel is to blame for everything. The only democracy in the Middle East, and people chooses to take Hamas, which is a terrorist organization which kills their own people. And people say that they believe what Hamas is saying. The people that actually Hamas is responsible for rape and burning babies. And yes, there are pictures and videos in Telegram, which I can't publish here, but there are a lot of videos from the terrorists themselves. And people say they just close their eyes and say, no, Israel is to blame. And Israel have been in existence for 75 years, and people just don't know the history. And the history is that 75 years ago, actually 76, November 1947, the UN decided on the formation of two countries, Israel and Palestine. And upon that call, it was in November, and upon that call, Arab countries invaded Israel and conquered the West Bank and Gaza, which means that Jordan ruled the West Bank and Egypt ruled Gaza. And this is what's so weird about it, because neither Jordan nor Egypt actually allowed the Palestinians to form a state. And for years, for decades, Jordan and Egypt ruled the Palestinians. And you don't hear them saying, oh, well, let them have a state of their own. And Israel pulled out of the Gaza Strip 20 years ago, and Israel had given most of the West Bank, including the suggestion to give Eastern Jerusalem in 2000, which was only answered by violence by Yasser Arafat. Israel strives for peace. And yet, you believe the Palestinians that say that Israel don't want peace. You say, you take the side that says, free Palestine from the river to the sea. So what's going to happen to Israel? Israel has the legitimacy and the right to exist. And for some reason, everybody refuses to acknowledge that. Everybody takes this Palestinians as if, oh yeah, let's give everything back to the Palestinians. But no. The Jewish people had been in Israel for over 3,000 years, and it was a UN resolution to have two states. Yet, it was the Arab decision not to take that decision. And even now, we say, have your own state. But still, they do not wish to have a state. We just call for the destruction of Israel. And yet still, we call for peace, and they call for the destruction of Israel. And you say Israel is the bad guy. And the reason that I'm not that surprised, because it all comes down to anti-Semitism. People, when it comes to Jews, just do not like Jews. When it comes to Israel, there's a double standard that says, all right, it's fine for everybody else to be killing and forget about human rights, but when it comes to Israel, well, Israel just don't have a right to protect itself. And I keep saying it, we, the majority of Israelis, want peace. We love peace. We feel for the Palestinians, the children that are being killed by their own people. You'll never even see a soldier, an Israeli soldier, hiding behind a civilian, where the Hamas is hiding behind civilians in hospitals. And I see all those videos that saying, oh, Israel is lying and Hamas is not hiding in hospitals. And we don't believe the pictures that Israelis are posting. And again, Israel is democracy, the only democracy. And I do not agree with my government in a lot of things. We have those arguments, and we had protests against our own government about lots of other things. But still, we want peace. And we, even when we do not agree with the government, we have our own free will. We've got free press. We've got more cell phones than per capita anywhere else in the world. So there's a lot of pictures, a lot of photos, a lot of testimonials of what just happened. And people just say, no, that's not true. We'll take the word of a terrorist, of a rapist, of a baby killer. We'll take their word of it because they are the victims, which, again, Israel is the victim here. Hamas is the oppressor. Hamas oppresses their own people. And the Palestinian Authority is corrupt. All money that are given to the Palestinian Authority and Hamas went to their own pockets rather than having invested in their citizens. Billions of dollars instead of going to build hospitals, artificial islands, building a thriving economy. And yet Israel is to blame. And again, the only conclusion that can come out of it is that people just do not like Jews. 80 years since the Holocaust, and I'm a grandson of a Holocaust survivor, and still people blame the Jews for whatever is wrong in the world, which is just one reason. They are more fanatical Muslims. And again, it's nothing against Islam. It's those radical extremists that just wants power. Dictatorships. There is no democracy in the Arab world. If you look at the Arab world, there is not even one democracy. And all of them want to stay in power. And because of that, the radicals, which are in their millions and billions, so they heard the loudest. But that doesn't mean the truth. We have a right to exist, and we want peace. But we will fight, and we will protect, and Israel will prevail, and justice and all justice will come out, and all of you will see. It's not the Palestinians. It's their leaders. It's their Hamas terrorists and the Palestinian Authority that just do not want peace. But eventually there's got to be peace. And I urge you to publish this video, to call for others to stop believing to the lies and propaganda of others. Thank you.